Manchester City have become Europe's living nightmare. Pep Guardiola's team aren't just back, they've evolved.
The people think have a build-up, have a lot of passes, or maybe no good long balls or transition. We are not pragmatic. Pragmatic? We are the best team in the world being pragmatic. Look at the numbers. We won a lot. No, because at the end, being pragmatic, what does it mean? Related in results, right? Not in how beautiful football and this kind of stuff. I don't believe in that. I believe in being pragmatic. And we believe in the way we play, we are unbelievably pragmatic. The best, I would say. I'm sorry. That is the truth.
The Spaniard has redefined his football once again, blending his trademark long possession sequences with a deadly new weapon, the long ball. It's football's most dangerous hybrid control, and chaos fused into one, and the results are devastating. At the heart of this monster is Erling Haaland, a striker built to destroy. 13 goals in 10 Premier League matches, 5 in 4 Champions League games, the best start of his entire career.
Erling has been incredible since the start, but especially this season is better than ever. Even, I would say, better than the travel year in terms of dynamics and everything.
He's now scored in 5 consecutive matches with 3 different clubs, something even Messi and Cristiano never achieved. Haaland doesn't just score, he consumes defenders, thrives on chaos, and turns half chances into certainties. But what's truly terrifying is that he's not doing it alone. Guardiola has surrounded him with the perfect cast, just like he did with Messi at Barcelona. Rayan Cherki, for instance, has formed a connection with Haaland that borders on telepathic. Every touch, every look, every pass seems engineered for the Norwegians' goals. In fact, 83.3% of Cherki's passes to Haaland this season have created chances, and that's in only 163 minutes of league football. Then there's Jeremy Doku, the best dribbler in world football right now. His ability to shatter defensive lines gives City terrifying width, stretching opponents until they break. Add to that the rebirth of Phil Foden, who's finally rediscovered his spark.
This season is back. Yeah, this season. Not feel all of us who struggled me first, but it happened. When Phil is in that level, when playing between the lines in the pockets, and it doesn't matter what happened. His first contact, his turn, and after his generosity, running and fighting.
And the metronomic control of Tijani Reinders, dictating the tempo like a young Kevin De Bruyne reborn. And let's not forget Savinho, whose vertical play injects pure electricity into City's attacks. Every run, every overlap adds another layer to Guardiola's terrifying design. Together, these players form an offensive machine that's not only efficient, it's unstoppable. Because Guardiola hasn't just built a team, he's built a system where every line, every movement, every pass serves one purpose: domination. Europe isn't just facing Manchester City anymore, they're facing evolution itself. Pep Guardiola's Manchester City have entered a new tactical age, one that perfectly merges the precision of positional football with the raw brutality of counter-attack. This is no longer the side obsessed with 70% possession and sterile domination. The 2025/26 City are colder, sharper, and far more unpredictable. Their attack has been reprogrammed to strike from anywhere, at any time. Averaging 1.8 goals per game from an expected goals of 1.55, City are outperforming their expected returns, a sign that Guardiola has shifted from volume to precision. The focus is no longer on creating endless chances, but on maximising every touch in the final third. With just 10.2 shots per match and 39.2% on target, the team's efficiency speaks of surgical intent rather than overwhelming dominance. Where Guardiola's earlier teams suffocated opponents with possession, this version embraces diversity in attack. City still execute 23.6 positional attacks per match, yet only a quarter-ending shots a dramatic change from the endless recycling of old. The difference now lies in their transitional play, which has become their most terrifying weapon. With 1.2 counter-attacks per match and an astonishing 100% conversion rate into shots, City have learned to kill with speed. Every recovery, every interception becomes a springboard. Tijjani Reinders is key to this. His vertical runs and daring ball progression connect the slow build-up with the fast break, turning structure into chaos in a heartbeat. Even the numbers reveal Guardiola's new pragmatism. Crossing efficiency sits at 28.9%, with 9 attempts per game, while City engage in 72 offensive duels per match, winning just 38.3% proof of their willingness to risk possession to break lines. And the most symbolic figure, 51.3% possession. Once unthinkable for Guardiola's philosophy, it now embodies evolution. Pep has accepted that control doesn't always come through the ball, sometimes it comes through fear. Pep Guardiola, the ultimate mastermind of control and reinvention, has built a team perfectly engineered to execute his new hybrid system. Every line, every role, every movement has meaning, and at the centre of this tactical evolution stand 7 key players: Erling Haaland, Savinho, Phil Foden, Tijjani Reinders, Jeremy Doku, Ryan Cherki, and Gianluigi Donnarumma. 7 names behind why Manchester City are England's most dominant side in 2025. The most wins at home, the most goals, and the most terrifying offensive football in England. 10 matches, 20 goals, and one clear message: City have evolved. Guardiola has realised that modern football doesn't demand endless passing, it demands vertical precision. And that's where Tijjani Reinders comes in. The Dutch midfielder has become the silent engine of City's new identity. In his first 5 appearances, he's recorded 69 total carries, covering over 800 metres, averaging 11.6 metres per carry, with 33 progressive runs driving the team more than 360 metres forward. Those aren't just statistics, they show how Reinders injects pure momentum into City's possession play. The perfect example came in Haaland's goal against Arsenal. Reinders received the ball deep, burst forward through midfield, then slowed down at just the right moment to wait for Haaland's overlapping run. One perfectly timed pass later, and the Norwegian buried it. That connection, precision, patience, and instinct is Guardiola's new blueprint made flesh. But Reinders isn't just a carrier, he's a complete playmaker. He can shoot from distance, like his stunning strike against Wolves.
Goes the other, Reinders, 2-0!
Or deliver inch-perfect crosses, as he did for his first assist to Haaland.
Back towards Haaland, 3-0.
Against Monaco, he even caught their defence asleep, threading a pass in before anyone could react, the kind of moment only a player who sees the game in fast forward can create. Guardiola didn't just sign a midfielder, he signed a mind one that moves the ball, the tempo, and the opposition all at once. With Reinders pulling the strings, City don't just control games anymore, they command them. Ryan Cherki's Manchester City story began with frustration. The French prodigy, hailed as one of Europe's brightest creative sparks, saw his first months in England stalled by injury and uncertainty. Just 2 appearances into the season, a thigh problem sidelined him for nearly 2 months, a brutal setback for a young player trying to prove his worth under Pep Guardiola.
Manchester City squad.
He's a special player. He's a special player. He's out of all the managers we want to make like a chess game. You have to do this, you have to do that. And he's a little free soul. You have to understand it. So he's a special player.
His arrival had already divided opinion. Many doubted whether a player as unpredictable, as free-spirited, as Cherki could ever fit into Guardiola's disciplined system. But those doubts vanished the moment he returned. Last week marked a turning point, a statement of intent. 2 games, 2 masterclasses, a stunning performance in the EFL Cup against Swansea, and a complete display against Bournemouth reminded everyone what kind of talent City had on their hands. At Swansea, Cherki looked possessed. Creator, finisher, conductor, he did it all. 1 goal, 1 assist, a shot off the post, and constant danger every time he touched the ball.
Getting frustrating. Marmoush now, can he get away through?
He produced 11 total shot involvements, something only Foden and De Bruyne had managed in recent City history. It was the kind of display that made fans whisper the unthinkable: could Cherki be the heir to De Bruyne? And truthfully, he just might be. Reinders may resemble De Bruyne in structure, but Cherki replicates his chaos. The subtle touches in tight spaces, the unpredictable rhythm, The way he creates brilliance out of nothing, that's what makes him special. When he's on the pitch, something always feels like it's about to happen. His partnership with Haaland is already terrifying defenders. Against Bournemouth, Cherki twice anticipated Haaland's runs before the Norwegian even asked for the ball, one with a lightning-fast headed-through pass in midfield. Another, a first-touch flick that sliced open the back line. Both led to goals. Both looked effortless.
It's nice again, Cherki, and Haaland is onside. Chance to make it 2-1, and he's done it.
And beyond the assists, Cherki's direct threat is just as lethal. His solo goal against Dortmund, cutting in from the right, gliding through defenders and curling the ball like a young, was pure artistry. His strike against Wolves, where he faked inside before firing into the top corner, showed composure beyond his years.
Impudent comes back to him again, and he finished.
The transformation of Manchester City under Pep Guardiola has gone far beyond simple tactical tweaks. It's a complete philosophical shift. The fluid positional rotations that once defined City have given way to a far more direct and calculated structure, one that revolves entirely around a single, unstoppable force: Erling Haaland. His mere presence reshapes the game, forcing the entire attacking system to orbit around his movement, his physicality, and his terrifying instinct for goal. This version of City doesn't aim to suffocate opponents with endless possession anymore. They aim to strike quickly and decisively. The numbers prove it: 1.8 goals per game, from an expected goals of 1.55. That's efficiency at its purest form. City no longer depend on volume, they depend on clarity. 10 shots a game, less than 40% on target, but everyone comes from a position designed to hurt. It's Guardiola's football, distilled into its most lethal essence. And at the heart of this evolution stands Haaland, who's redefining what a striker can be. 18 goals in 14 games, the best start in Manchester City's history. But what makes this run frightening isn't just the numbers, it's the pattern. Every player around him has adapted to serve the same purpose. Find Haaland. Reinders threaded him through against Wolves.
And back towards Haaland.
Doku and Bernardo Silva sent him sprinting in behind against Manchester United.
Doku. Oh, Haaland's onside.
Foden unlocked him with a perfectly timed pass against Napoli.
Lovely all the way.
Tijani did it again versus Arsenal. Doku repeated the formula against Burnley and Dortmund.
Doku, might it come late on? Well, he said.
Reinders found him once more against Monaco. Guardiola unleashed him physically against Brentford, where the Norwegian bullied his marker into the ground. Savinho picked him out against Everton. And Cherki, as we've seen, has become his most dangerous accomplice. Their chemistry, pure instinct, pure destruction. It doesn't matter who plays behind him, everyone speaks the same language. Feed Haaland. The result? Out of City's 30 goals this season, Haaland has scored 18. He alone has more goals than half of the Premier League clubs. Guardiola's system has always produced brilliance. But this is dominance weaponized. Manchester City have evolved into a machine where efficiency meets inevitability, and Erling Haaland is the terrifying engine that powers it all. As we've seen, Erling Haaland is surrounded by allies on every front, and that's precisely what makes this Manchester City side so terrifying. They don't just have the best striker in the world, they have a system designed to feed him from every angle. Around him orbit a constellation of brilliance. Ryan Cherki, one of Europe's most intelligent young creators, Tijani Reinders, a midfield genius who dictates tempo like a metronome, and Jeremy Doku, arguably the best dribbler on the planet. Together they form a front line that feels almost unfair. And Doku, he's something else entirely. The numbers say it all. Across Europe's top 5 leagues, no winger compares. The Belgian doesn't just beat defenders, he erases them. His dribbling data sits on a planet of its own, far beyond the likes of Leao, Olise, Musiala, or even Lamine Yamal. Analysts have had to redraw their charts because Doku breaks every scale for take-ons and carries into the box. It's the kind of anomaly that used to belong only to Lionel Messi. But what separates Doku now is that his production is finally catching up to his brilliance. 6 goals and 11 assists in his debut season. 8 and 9 in his second, and already 2 goals and 4 assists this campaign, all crafted through sheer chaos.
For me, Jeremy is the best player in the world in the first 5 meters. So
So when they stop the 5 meters, it's unstoppable. They make the action, and today make an incredible good cross. And to score a goal, you have to be there. And Gundo was there, and Omar was there, Nico was there, and Mateus was there. And at the end, we could score and win the game.
His goal against Napoli was a masterclass in agility and control, turning away from 2 defenders, slicing between 2 more and finishing with icy precision past the keeper. His assist to Haaland versus Dortmund was just as lethal, a micro step over, a flick of the boot and a razor-sharp cross for the Norwegian to tap in. And then came that moment against Manchester United. Doku twisted 3 defenders inside out with a drop of the shoulder and the outer edge of his boot, stormed to the byline and after a blocked first attempt, delivered a perfect second cross for Phil Foden to smash home. That's Doku in a sentence. Relentless, fearless, impossible to contain. At just 23, he's redefining what elite winger means, not through brute speed, but through rhythm, unpredictability, and confidence. He's Guardiola's chaos generator, the one who bends the system without breaking it. And speaking of Foden, one of Guardiola's biggest victories this season has been bringing him back to his best form. Pep Guardiola said it best: Phil Foden is back, and he truly is. The Manchester City star has rediscovered the form that once made him the best player in the Premier League, playing with confidence, precision, and flair. 4 goals and 3 assists so far this season, but the real story lies in his control of every match. His brace against Dortmund proved what we all suspected. Foden is back to his ruthless best. He has now scored 11 goals from outside the box since the start of the 2023-24 season, more than any other Premier League player. It was in that campaign that he won Football Writers' Player of the Year after hitting 27 goals across all competitions. Between December 2023 and May 2024, he scored 8 long-range screamers, including one against Real Madrid in the Champions League and another on the final day versus West Ham, a strike that helped City claim their 4th consecutive league title. Last season, his sparkle faded. The whole team dipped, and so did Foden's rhythm. But that fire returned in September with a stunning 25-metre goal against Huddersfield in the Carabao Cup, a shot that reminded everyone what he's capable of.
1-2 here, and it's a power!
Both goals against Dortmund demanded sublime precision, yet focusing only on the finish would ignore the movement that made them possible. The gravitational pull of Erling Haaland constantly draws defenders deep, leaving pockets of space around the box, the exact spaces where Foden thrives. And while they're not a traditional strike partnership, Foden and Haaland have become one of the Premier League's most dangerous duos. Foden drifts just behind the Norwegian, feeding off the chaos Haaland creates. Every time defenders drop back to track Haaland's runs, they open a gap, and Foden slips right into it. What's emerging now is a more mature, more decisive version of Phil Foden, one who doesn't just shine, but defines how this Manchester City side attacks. The movement patterns of Tijjani Reinders and Savinho played a major role in freeing up Phil Foden. As Reinders drifted wide and Savinho covered that same flank, Dortmund's defensive structure was pulled apart. This created a perfect pocket of space for Foden to exploit. When he turned with the ball, just the mere presence of Erling Haaland threatening a run-in behind forced Nico Schlotterbeck and Waldemar Anton to drop back, giving Foden the time and angle to shoot. If Haaland rarely strays too far from the width of the posts, then Foden uses him almost like a compass. The Norwegian's movement dictates defensive lines, and Foden reads them instinctively. Against Bournemouth, for example, as Jeremy Doku carried the ball down the left, Foden and Haaland stood close together. In a split second, Haaland darted diagonally away from the play, dragging his marker and opening a lane for Foden to drive forward and shoot. Even though the attempt was blocked, the play revealed how seamlessly their movement interlocks.
Now, can he get away through? Oh!
The psychological impact of Haaland on defenders cannot be overstated. He is such a devastating goalscorer that defenders instinctively focus on him, often overcommitting to his runs. Sometimes all it takes is a slight shift in his direction to completely reshape the opposition's defensive line. Take the Champions League clash with Monaco last month. As Foden slipped away from his marker, both Eric Dier and Mohamed Salisu adjusted their body positions to face Haaland, leaving Foden free to drive into space and unleash a rocket that rattled the underside of the crossbar. It's no coincidence he keeps finding these gaps. Haaland's subtle, selfless movements create them. In another sequence against Brentford, after Oscar Bob pierced the backline, Haaland glanced over and spotted Foden surging into the box. Surrounded by 2 defenders, Haaland instantly redirected his run toward the far post, opening the centre for Foden to attack. Even in the Napoli fixture, where Foden missed a few clear chances, the pattern held true. The Italians were so fixated on Haaland that Foden kept slipping through unmarked, and when the roles reversed, it was Foden who delivered a delicate, lofted assist for Haaland to score. Foden's agility
And it's a record.
is astonishing. He can twist and turn at top speed, carving through crowded zones with just a few meters of space. Since Kevin De Bruyne's summer departure, the man who once shared a near telepathic bond with Haaland City needed someone to fill that creative void, and Foden has stepped into it brilliantly. Earlier this season, Foden and Haaland often looked out of sync, but that Monaco performance marked a turning point. They could easily have combined for 4 or 5 goals that night. It was the start of a new understanding between them. While Ryan Cherki's 2 assists in the 3-1 win over Bournemouth stole the headlines, Foden quietly played a crucial part in 2 of City's goals. Now trusted by Guardiola to command the midfield, whether drifting wide or central, Foden has become a true connector in this evolving machine. His stellar display against Dortmund was proof of his maturity, and with Doku's one-on-one brilliance on the left and Cherki's imagination on the right, Manchester City now possess an attacking quartet that's as diverse as it is deadly a front line that can dismantle any defence in Europe. Thanks to these players, Pep Guardiola's tactical evolution has completely reshaped Manchester City, adapting to modern football and turning them into one of the most terrifying teams in Europe. The numbers tell the full story. City now average 482.8 passes per game with an 87.1% accuracy rate, maintaining Guardiola's DNA of possession football, but with a sharper, deadlier edge. The focus is no longer just on keeping the ball, it's about progressing with purpose. Their forward passing stands at 140.7 actions per game with 78.7% accuracy, while their backward 86.8 at 94.8% and lateral passes 159.1 at 91.8% ensure City can recycle play when needed without losing rhythm. But the real difference lies in how quickly they move vertically. With 59.8 progressive passes per match, completed at nearly 69%, Guardiola's men now move through the thirds with an efficiency that feels surgical. Into the final third, City averaged 51.3 passes per game at 76.6% accuracy, showing a clear priority: reach danger zones faster and with precision. Even more striking is their increased use of long balls, 32.3 per match, at 52.6% success, proof that Guardiola has shed his old rigidity and embraced a more pragmatic, unpredictable approach. Add to that 1.17 smart passes per game, executed at 42.7% accuracy, and you see a side willing to take risks, to gamble creatively in tight spaces, and to break compact defensive walls with flair and bravery. Tactically, City now play at a match tempo of 17.3, averaging 5.1 passes per possession, a balance that blends patience and explosiveness. They're no longer locked in sterile circulation, nor are they recklessly direct. They adapt, they read the game, and they strike when it matters most. Their PPDA of 12.3, a measure of how often they allow opponents to pass before pressing, confirms a team that can afford to step back, absorb, and then kill with precision. In essence, this new Manchester City represents Guardiola 2.0 positional mastery fused with modern pragmatism. The control remains, but now it's infused with danger, speed, and chaos. It's not just beautiful football anymore, it's beautiful destruction.